Hey everyone, so today I'm going to be filming a video which I feel like is pretty relatable for most of you guys watching this. It is just a couple tips on how to survive working in retail. A little backtrack, I'm a cashier in both of my jobs. I'm a cashier at a pizza place. It's a lot less like angry customers, and then I'm also a cashier at a supermarket, which I definitely get the bad end of retail around that area. So in honor of having off for the next 3 days, I decided to film a video on how to survive working in it. So if you catch me looking down at my phone, it's just because I have the tips written down in notes. The first tip I have is definitely to become friends with all of your coworkers. You don't have to be friends with all of your coworkers, but being friendly and nice to all of your coworkers and getting a couple into like a good kind of group of friends will definitely help you out in the long run. It's a really hard job to stay in, especially when you are dealing with rude customers every day. Also, I kind of went into this whole working here as I'm just going to go to work and I'm just going to come home. I'm not going to talk to anyone. And going in with a negative attitude definitely is going to kind of prevent you from having friends. And just having someone to talk about the same exact thing and having someone that is very might not be the same in a lot of instances, but is the same when you're all talking about work is really helpful. In the end of the day, you probably will not have to ever deal with the customer that gave you attitude again. I can almost promise you, you will either never see them again because they're not going to shop at your store anymore. They decided that you're too rude and you offended them, or whatever you could have possibly probably not have done to upset them in any way. They probably won't want to have to deal with you again, or they were just having a bad day and they're honestly too embarrassed to want to see you again. That rude customer you won't have to deal with again, so don't let it sit and don't dwell on it for too long because it's just going to end up kind of hurting you more than it ever affected the customer. Never let them see you upset. Never let a customer know that they got to you in any way, shape, or form. Sometimes they might get excited like, oh yes, I made her upset. And it might even be more, they'll be like, well, why are you crying? Are you saying I'm mean? Just keep calm and just try to act as normal as possible. And then when they leave, you can go to the bathroom, you can do anything. Just don't let them see that they worked you up, because that will definitely just kind of give them the advantage and they'll be like, yes, like this is what I wanted. Like some people are just out to make your day miserable. Don't let that happen. Number 4 is, if you mess up, it can almost 100% be fixed. So if you're first going into retail and you're really afraid of messing up and stuff like that, it's almost always fixable, unless your till is like short or it has too much money in it. That can't be fixed, obviously. That if you ring something, if you ring something up too much, if this person dropped this, that, or that, anything can pretty much be fixed, and it will never usually be a hassle. So if you're just going in, do not be worried about doing anything. If you're just starting and you did do something and you're like upset about it, like don't let it get to you, because everybody messes up. 5, most customers aren't actually bad people. You kind of get a bad customer and then you have this hatred for all customers because you think they're all going to be evil. Most of the time, customers just kind of want to buy their stuff and leave. Hi, how are you doing? They'll say it back, and it's simple like that. You will get rude customers, or you'll get extremely happy customers. I go into it just assuming that everyone's going to have a good outcome and everyone's going to be sweet. And hey, sometimes they aren't, and I'm just like, hey, I didn't do anything. I'm just doing my job, and you hate me for no reason. That's your problem. So kind of just accepting the fact that you might have gotten a bad customer 5 minutes ago. The customer behind them isn't going to be nearly as rude. So just kind of treat everyone nicely, and most of the time you'll have a good outcome. 6, if you pretend you care, it will definitely give you a better outcome. So say someone's green beans ring up for $1.69 and they're supposed to be on sale for $1, and you know that it's only $1.69 and you're positive, and they just want to quiz you or they want it for cheaper. Just pretend that you care and like pretend to look through the circular, or just kind of call someone over, ask them, pretend that you care, and they definitely won't get mad at you. If you just catch an attitude, they're gonna catch one back. So if you just pretend that you care and kind of just be like, oh, like don't just say like, oh, this is what I know. Just pretend that you might be wrong even though you're not, and they'll kind of they'll be like, oh, thank you so much for your help. 7, don't fight fire with fire. If a customer is being rude to you, do not start being rude back. That's like a number 1 tip. If they're cursing at you, don't start cursing at them. If they are cursing with you, you can honestly be like, excuse me, like, sir, ma'am, you can't talk to me like that. Like, you can't degrade me like that. You're allowed to say that. You will not get in trouble for standing up for yourself, but don't start calling them names back. if someone's yelling at you and saying like, oh, you did this wrong or you did this wrong, just apologize, say like, okay, sorry. I usually just don't talk. Like when they're catching an attitude, I'll be like, okay. Like I won't speak back because I know I'm gonna say something I don't want to say. So just kind of pretending that they're not talking to you might turn out better than you trying to say something rude back to them. 10 big tip that I prefer is try not to date your coworkers. I feel like that's kind of an impossible thing to do because you spend like half of your whole day at work almost every day, so you're gonna try to find interests with people that you work with and you see a lot. But if you can avoid dating someone in your department, or you can like kind of at another store or anything like that, that would be 20 times better, because in the long run it will just end up being 20 times more awkward if something doesn't work out. And if you guys are dating, try to keep it as low-key, very casual, until you like know, like, you know what, like maybe this will work out. The less people you tell and the less coworkers you tell will definitely be an advantage, because then you will get opinions and ideas, and a lot of stores kind of like have this rule where you're not supposed to date coworkers. So just keep it low key. It'll be a lot better, and then you won't have anyone's input, and if you guys stop talking, then it's just between you guys. Another just fun tip that I kind of recommend is, if you can, this is gonna sound really weird, but if you can like change your name and you can write like a nickname on your name tag, I suggest doing that, because everybody can see your name tag, and my name is Julia, but Jules is on my name tag, and it's even spelled weird. It's like Jewels, and kind of having a different name a lot better, because you have customers calling you that all day long, and it's kind of annoying when you like go home and you have a family that like actually is just like, oh hey Julia, and you're like, oh my gosh, please not another customer. Like that's just how I feel. Like switching up your name, kind of having something different at work so you don't have to hear your name 24/7 is honestly one of the best things I've ever done, because I can't tell you how much I hate the name Jules now, and it's good to come home and not be called that. And that is pretty much it. Just a couple tips and tricks on how I have survived retail for this long. If you guys have any other questions or have any video ideas that you want me to film, just comment them down below. Give this video a thumbs up if you like these sit-down videos where I just kind of try to give you tips and tricks. And I really hope that you guys enjoyed. Comment, like this video, and subscribe, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye!